Welcome back to Von Blues Boxing, man. What's going on with everybody? So, I wanted to give my predictions for this weekend's big matchup between Jameel Herring, the currently WBO 130-pound champion, versus Shakur Stevens. This is going to be a good match. It's in Atlanta. Great place to have a fight, I think, for African American fighters. Like, has a side big pop, big African American population, and I think they should have more fights in those areas because it's a little more, you know, you can market African American fighters in African American places. So, I think if they're gonna have fights with African American guys headlining the main card, I would like to see it, in places like Atlanta, Detroit, Boston, Atlanta, Detroit, Oakland, Houston, places like that has sizable African American population. So I think it's pretty smart from Bob Arum and Top Rank to put that fight in there. I think they're gonna have a sold out crowd for sure. So we know about Shakur Stevens, 5'8", 60-inch reach. He's 16-0 with 8 KOs, 24 years old. He's a silver medalist, 2006 Olympian, former 126-pound WBO champion. His biggest wins, Joet Gonzalez, Christopher Diaz. Doesn't have the biggest name resume, but he only has 16 fights. So very talented, probably one of the most talented fighters under 25, 26 years old, and just has an excellent pedigree, just really known around the boxing world for being a really talented boxer. Then he will be taking on the champion, Jameel Herring. Jameel Herring is 5'10". He's got a 70-inch reach, pretty tall, and got a long reach for the 135-pound weight class. He's 25-2 with 11 KOs, 35 years old. He's beat Masayuki Ito, that's where he won the title, beat Laurent Roach Jr., defended against him, and beat Carl Frown. That was like some of his notable wins. So both fighters have known each other for a while. They've trained and sparred with each other and things of that nature, up in with the Terrence Crawford and Bo Mack camp. They know each other well and used to be very close, had a really good relationship. And I still think they do. I just think that it's a lot on the line, and sometimes in these situations, things can get a little hostile, or fighters can, one fighter can be like, hey, you know what, I ain't here to be friends. I'm trying to win and be in that title. I think it's going to be a really good matchup. It's going to be on ESPN Plus, I believe, or ESPN Top Rank. I think ESPN Plus because of college football. And I just think that this is going to be one of the best matchups we've seen in a pretty good fight. I think that Shakur Stevens is going to get challenged in this fight against Jameel Herring. I think Jameel is going to give him his toughest challenge in his career, and we're going to really see where Jameel Herring is at. Shakur Stevens is at in his career. Is he really this guy, or is this too early of a step up? Or, we're going to really get some questions answered in this fight about Shakur Stevens. Jameel, but the way I see this fight going, I see earlier on Jameel Herring, pushing the, trying to take the fight to Shakur Stevens, which isn't easy because Shakur Stevens is one of the best defensive boxers in all of boxing. But I see him trying to take the fight to him, being more active and trying to win those earlier rounds. But what I think is going to happen is Shakur is going to be able to adjust. I just think he's that talented as a fighter. I think he will make the adjustments to get this win. I think it's not going to be it may not be the most exciting fight, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that Shakur Stevens is going to do what it takes to get this W and get this win. I think he's, his high level intelligence and defense, and he can just fight in any place and anywhere, and I think by the mid rounds, he'll start making adjustments. I think he'll get some early rounds, but I think he'll be able to pull away in the mid rounds and kind of just slow the pace down and, try to, outthink and outsmart Jameel Herring in this fight. I think he'll be able to do that, and I think he will get the decision win. I think it'll be a closer fight than what people think, but I think that Shakur Stevens will get a decision in this fight. I just think that he has the know-how, the defense, and the IQ, and the experience of sparring Jameel Herring many times and being around him, and I think that'll bode well for him. And it could bode well for Jameel Herring. I could be wrong. Jameel Herring could pull the upset, but I'm going to go with Shakur Stevens. I think Shakur Stevens will get the decision in this fight. I just think his defense is going to be the key, and he's just very hard to hit. He's very hard to hit. He's very intelligent in that ring, and I just think Jameel has some sets earlier on, but as the rounds go on, I think Shakur will just start pulling away. He'll just start outpointing and outthinking Jameel Herring to get this win and become the become a WBO champion at 130 pounds and become a 2-division champion. And if Shakur is to win this fight, I hope that him and Oscar Valdez can get it on and unify that title. I don't see the problem in that fight. You know, both guys are on top rank. It should be a fight that interests both of them. And I think it should be enough money to get those guys in there. So that's my prediction. I'm taking Shakur Stevens with the decision. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Von Blues Boxing. I'm out.